Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Monday morning. It's Hacking Self Storage. It is my week in numbers. So on Mondays, what we do is we go through everything that happened last week, the good, the bad for every individual site. And can I just say, it was flipping. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on what platform these goes on now. Flipping amazing week. 41 reservations, 40 move-ins. Last week was 45 reservations, I believe. So in total, it's 86 reservations in 2 weeks. That is bonkers, bananas. I don't know what's happened, but we've gone nuts. Overall, as a company, I think we're 84.28% occupied, and it's the start of March. That is unbelievable. But also, you're never happy, are you? Because I think, oh my God, we're going to run out of square foot. I mean, what a great problem to have. But I mean, that's my immediate thought rather than, oh yeah, woo. It's like we're going to move out, we're going to lose square foot. We're not going to be able to fit everybody in. Well, that's great, Dean. Push up the prices, supply and demand, basic economics. I learned that in year, don't know what it was. Anyway, right. So, oh, by the way, awesome news. Gary McKenzie starts today. So that is brilliant. It's the first time I've ever publicly announced it. Yeah, I think Gary is going to be a wonderful addition to the team. The job role is basically look after me. No, it's we need. Do you know what we need to do? We need to get a little bit more professional. And hence somebody like Gary coming in, he is so much more professional than me and can really help push the company to the next level. I realize that to get where we want to get to, we do need people who've been there before and who have been experienced in that journey. Gary comes in and he will massively help me, the team, and we'll help him as well. And it'll just hopefully it'll be an awesome relationship. So yeah, really excited. I'm picking him up from train station later on today, and yeah, it is going to be wonderful. Right, so the weekly figures then in terms, and hopefully this week, by the way, hopefully I was hoping to announce the new site, signing of a new site on Friday last week, but my solicitor had extra questions for their solicitor, so we couldn't sign. So hopefully, as long as their solicitor gets back with the correct information that we need, I'll be announcing the next site, which is I nearly said it then because it was so close. I was like, what can go wrong? Famous last words. So I'm going to restrain and hopefully either tomorrow, mind you, I might be recording these podcasts the rest of the week today, but in the newsletter, mrselfstorage.com, I will be telling you all about it as soon as we get the new site. So fingers crossed it should be. And also I put in an offer 2 weeks ago for another site and the agent keeps coming back to he's thinking about it, he's thinking about it. So never know, might have another offer accepted. Right, okay, so let's get to it. 159 quotes last week. Bananas. That is amazing. We think it's because of stamp duty. Obviously, the government are helping out with stamp duty up until whatever date it is in a month or so's time. We think that that must be having an impact on storage. Now, my one worry is, and if that is the case, if the team are right and that is the case, then we're having a little bit of a summer rush now, and we're not going to have as much as a summer rush later because everybody who was thinking about moving, or a proportion of the people who was thinking about moving in the summer, have decided to move early, and therefore you might only have 70% of the movers moving in July, August, etc. But who knows? Who knows? We might have an amazing. I mean, I cannot remember a February as good as this, or a January as good as this, or a December as good as this. I think it's been terrific. Normally, the winter you lose a square foot. In the summer, you gain it. In the winter, you lose it. And hopefully, your net is a little bit higher than. Hopefully, you don't lose everything you gain in the summer. But this year, we haven't lost anything. In fact, um, I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think we're over 1,000 square foot up in February, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. So fantastic stuff there. I think every site but one was positive as well, and the negative was Glasgow, which we're not bothered about anyway because we've only got one container left, so we can't do anything about it. It's just in out in out, you know. So yeah, impressive stuff. Right. So let's get to the Google Analytics. Unfortunately, again, I can't get into my Google Analytics. It's saying error on the Google Analytics internal error. I'm like, can't be Google's internal error for over a week, surely. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a deep dive into this. Weekly revenue. Weekly revenue is a little bit rubbish. And the reason it's rubbish is because we filed our accounts late. And we filed well, for our main company, we've got loads of different companies now. For our main company, we filed our accounts late. And the reason why we did that was because we had some legacy issues from the previous accountant bookkeeper, and they didn't match up to what we found, so we had to change some stuff. We found I haven't got a clue. I just listened to people who tell me about the accounts, and so we had to do a lot of historical work, and that meant that we didn't file the accounts on time. We filed them now, but Stripe is still taking, I think, 30% of our money. And do you know what? Even though we're having an amazing, amazing run in February and January, it's been the best week ever for the second week running, we're still, you think cash flow must be amazing. And then you're like, hang about, Angela, what's happened? And last month, I think we spent like £45,000 extra out of our account or it'll be over that. Um, well, and then including I'm paying someone £45,000 of loan to help me with my course. And yeah, all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, money just goes. So we're sitting pretty with not sitting pretty, I'd like more than this, but low six figures, very low six figures, by the way. And then all of a sudden, that low six figures goes to low five figures. I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, it's always interesting juggling cash flow. And like I said, you thought in February, mind you, February always is a little bit tighter because you get the monthly payments, but you like the rent, etc. But it's a shorter month, so it's 3 days shorter than January, 3 days shorter than March. So if we're taking 7 grand a day, that's 21 grand that you're less, and that with the extra cost of over 50 grand that we spent extra on, for example, insurance, Wrexham shop fit. Jesus Christ, there's absolutely miles over 50 grand, and then all of a sudden you see, that's why we've got a cash flow shortage, and Stripe nicking our money and not getting the refund from a VAT for I think it's Mansfield or Ibrox, can't remember. Anyway, so that's you're thinking, oh yeah, if we had all that back together, oh, we're all right. Anyway, get on with it, Dean. Okay, so £38,858 we took last week. That'd have been nearly £50,000 if Stripe wouldn't have nicked our money. And by the way, I don't mean nobody get me in trouble with Stripe. Stripe haven't nicked my money. Stripe are holding my money. Whew. Right, we need Stripe. We don't want to upset Stripe. Jack, 21 reservations last week out of 41. That is incredible. Jack did alone nearly 50% of her reservations. That is amazing. Angela did 2. Charlene did 8. James did 3. Online was 6. So, and we've got a new salesperson called Brogan started as well. Oh, we've got a big team now. Jeepers, creepers. We do have a big team. But the way we're setting up now, we're getting the foundations right. The foundations are there. And then what we're doing now is we can now expand. We can add on other sites, and we don't necessarily have to take anybody else on because we've got a solid foundation now. We've got a solid base of which we can. It's like short-term pain, as in we've got a big team, but we've got a big foundation now where we can actually build upon that solid foundation and open without any extra cost in terms of staffing, if we so wish. Right. Online, there was 6 reservations online. That's a 15% conversion there. Weekly figures, Willoughby. Just take a swig of my coffee. Right, let's dive into Willoughby then. 33 quotes at Willoughby. We had 13 reservations. That's a 39% conversion rate. We had 15 move-ins. That is a 45% conversion rate. The van was renting out 6 times. We moved in. Check this out. 2,000 square foot. 2,000 square foot in a week in the summer would be amazing. But 2,000 square foot, 2,015 square foot in the winter, it just boggles my mind. Absolutely boggles the mind. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Do you know what I'm going to do as well? In this week, I'm going to do a comparison. January's takings, 2024, compared to 2025, and then February's 2024 compared to 2025, and just show the difference site by site, because this is the correct revenue management. You can increase your costs are pretty much static. Yes, every 5 years, majority of places we have a rent review. Most of them it's 1 to 3% cap and collar. And you can, so the static expenses, but you can see how much extra you will be taking or we're taking every single month. And so this time next year, then we'll be doing the same again. So it's wonderful to see the progression. And you think, oh yeah, that's great. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, we're taking all this extra money. I'm like, wait a second, where's it all going? Oh yeah, we've opened in Glasgow. Spent nearly 100 grand on grounds work there. We're fitting out. We spent another 50 grand at Wrexham to do extra work there. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. We reinvest that money because I'm thinking the wife says, wait a second, the company's that profitable. Why don't we see any of it? Like, we reinvest it. we put it back in the company to hopefully make the company more money. But she's like, well, when do we ever make the money? When we sell, baby. When we sell. Right. Yeah, 2015 square foot moved in, 125 square foot moved out. So we're up 1,890 square foot. Mental, I know, incredible. 52 containers rented out. I think we're full on containers there now. I wonder if we can add some more in. Store occupancy is 83.92%. Mental. At start of March, we're 84% full. I've just let that sit with myself for a minute. 84% at Clough Road. Sorry, Willoughby. Clough Road. Clough Road's another story. Clough Road is the one site that we're worried about. 84%. Yeah, just bonkers, great, bizarre. And I think that as a team, as a collective, we've got to pat ourselves on the back. Sometimes I feel like we've got a great team and we've got the systems dialed in, we've got the processes, we've got the sales callbacks at the minute, beautifully done. I hate it because I'm thinking, oh my God, there'll be people listening to this thinking, well, we had a shit week last week, and all we can hear is Dean saying how good he is. Trust me, I do loads of self-deprecation and beat myself up all the time when we have bad weeks. So sometimes I think that you just gotta be pleased at yourself, be proud of yourself, and think, yeah, do you know what? We're in a good position at the minute at Willoughby, which is awesome. Right. Average insurance was 9,200. Somebody took over £100,000 insurance on one of the movings. So that was awesome. £11.80 was the average merchandise sales. This next week, this is not the good bit. This is a little bit worrying. 675 due to move in, 1,145 due to move out. So around about 500 square foot down, we're predicting for next week. But fingers crossed, we'll be all right. Clough Road, 33 quotes, dead on the same. Check this out. 3 reservations. Why only 3 reservations? I'm asking you, why? Why? What is happening? 9% conversion rate, 4 move-ins, a 12% conversion rate. What? Why? Willoughby, Clough Road, completely different. Willoughby's more expensive. It's so competitive around that area. 325 square foot moved in, 575 moved out, 250 square foot down. The net result was, 250 square foot down, 6,750 average insurance. And it gets worse. Next week, we're due to move in 1 for 50 square foot. We're due to move out 2 for 200. Bleh. So Clough Road, again, if anybody's thinking of opening down Clough Road, don't, stay away. Okay. That's why I tell you how bad it is all the time. I emphasize that because it's hard, really hard, Clough Road. If that was me only self-storage, I'd be like, self-storage is a bit hard, isn't it? It's all about location, and doing the work, making sure that you're open in under-saturated areas. Right, Beverly, amount of quotes, 18. That was incredible. 2 reservations, though. That's 11%. Do you know why? Because we're 94% full at Beverly. We haven't got spaces to put people. And I shouldn't really highlight that. We've got loads of move outs this week, so there you go. So 2 reservations, only 11% conversion, 3 move-ins, that's a 17% conversion, 385 moved in, 50 square foot moved out, 335 net, 86 units occupied, 94%. Average insurance was 9,600. We've got 2 move-ins this next week for 210 and 3 move-outs for 400. So we're predicting a net square foot negative at Beverly. Wrexham, bad week at Wrexham. 18, just as we open up an extra section, we lose loads of square foot. The way it goes. 18 quotes, 4 reservations, that's a conversion rate of 22%. 3 move-ins, a conversion rate of 17%. 200 square foot moved in, 530 moved out. We're net 330 down. Average insurance sold was £5,000. Due in this next week is 495. Due out is 160. Mansfield, check this out. 51 quotes. I actually read that again. 51 quotes. That's a third of our quotes came from Mansfield. 16 reservations, that's a conversion rate of 31%. 14 move-ins, a conversion rate of 27%. 1,135 square foot moved in. 425 moved out. We have net 7. It's the offer that I put in. It's just got an email from the offer. And I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And he's like, Dean, don't worry, I'm chasing. Like, all right, thank you. At least he's not gone dead to me and not getting back to me and stuff. At least he's keeping me a breadth of the situation. Is that the right word? I don't know. Right, 1,135 square foot moved in, 425 moved out, so we're net 710, 202 internal rooms occupied, 29 containers rented out, 82% full. Average insurance was 5,200, 510 square foot due to move in this next week, 700 due to move out. Glasgow, and hopefully we'll get the quotes all sorted and get the expansion for Mansfield underway. Glasgow, 6 quotes, 2 reservations, that's 33%, 2 move-ins, that's a 33% conversion as well. 480 square foot moved in, 320 moved out, so 160 was the net result. We're 95.74% occupied. We need more containers down there. £7,000 average insurance. This next week, we're due to move in 1 for 160. And we've got no move outs. I think we've got 1 container left there. That is it. And that is it, my friends. I've got to go because I've got to go pick up Gary McKenzie, take my kids to school, and all that good stuff. All right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Can't wait for what is in store this week. Ta-ra.